She baked for Christmas, went and bathed in some cold water, got pleurisy, and was buried for New Year. And when she realized that she was dying, she called her brother, who was a wardsman at the St. Anne's Hospital, living in St. Anne's, and asked him if he would take care of her 3 children. He said yes. And he took in her 3 children. Even though he had 5 girls, and that would have been 8 children, he was taking care of on a wardsman's salary. This was in the 1920s or 30s. When I started teaching in 1964, as a teacher, my salary was $90 on paper.
That's loud money, though.
No. So can you imagine what he was doing, what he had to do with 8 children, a wife and himself to mine? That is the kind of love that
No, it's true.
you don't see. And not only that, it's only after I became big and started mixing with the wider society that I realized how lucky I was to have been born in that family, that experiencing that amount of love. And that ain't no joke. That ain't no joke. If the experiences of some people outside doesn't equal ours at all. And there's no violence, there's no hostility, no argument, there's only love and caring. That is how it was all the time. And in those days, they didn't have the war that just finished. Things were rationed, and you had to have a card that every time you go and get rice, they would mark on the card that they get rice.
Sounds
That
like
was
you.
ration card.
Yeah.
You know? They had electricity, but nobody had any fridges. They had ice box in your yard, in your house, and you keep your stuff there. That's it.
Is that when you were around, or that's when your mother was around?
I was born in 1945.
And they had ice boxes?
Yeah,
Okay.
they had ice boxes. They didn't have no fridge then. And people didn't have telephones.